Hello everyone, my name is Christian, welcome to my hobby blog. Today we are doing part 3. Oh my gosh, I keep thinking it's part 2, but it's not. It's part 3. And today we are doing 3 movies each from the Arrow Video, or Arrow Films, or Arrow Academy, whatever it's called. I don't have a single release by them. But it's part 3 of the Withering Watchpile. Shockingly, that name has stuck. I've quite enjoyed it. But Undead Nightmare 24 is back with us today, aka Leon. Welcome back.
Thanks, Christian. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be on here. And like I said, this is always a blast to do. And I look forward to going through these good or bad movies. Let's see.
Well, I guess I'll just give my initial reaction. I love the first one, but it was a rewatch. I knew going in I was going to love it. And the other two, they were okay. One was interesting, just in terms of the director. And the other one was a Takashi Miike. I've told you that already, but that doesn't narrow it down at all.
Yeah.
He has over 100 films. But it was one that was... it was just like any other of his Yakuza films, aside from Ichi the Killer. And I blanked out. I didn't fall asleep, but I blanked out. I was just... no thought was going through my head while watching it. How are your movies? I hope they were better.
I'm just gonna say that I didn't hate none of them. I'm gonna put that out, but I pretty much went in order. I'm gonna go my first from pretty much worst to best. I'm gonna keep it like that, so that I enjoyed my opinion. But I didn't hate none of the films. I found enjoyment in all of them. But like I said, it's gonna go from worst to best.
Honestly, I'm gonna do the same. That way I can go. Because the worst one is the Miike film, but it's not bad, is the thing. It was just more of the same. Because I've seen enough Takashi Miike at this point, to where I'm just like, yeah, I've seen this. And the middle one isn't bad. The director hates it, which I'll get into. And my favorite one, of course, is a rewatch, because I haven't seen it in a while. Been years, so. Who went first last time? Was it you or me?
I went first last time. It's your
Okay.
turn, I believe.
I'll go first then. That's great, because I get to get this out of the way. So, the worst one that I saw, I think number 3, was Shinjuku Triad Society. It's part of the Black Society trilogy, like, little box set thing. That comes with
Nice.
Rainy Dog and Ley Lines. I've seen Rainy Dog before, so that's why I chose Shinjuku Triad Society. Rainy Dog was actually really fucking good. That's one of my favorites that nobody talks about. But this one was just... it's a Takashi Miike Yakuza film. You've seen it a million times. If you're like me, who has seen about 10 to 15 of his films. And it's 2 gangs fighting each other the entire time. Each one of them does a big hit in terms of, like, a kill. Like killing, like, second in command, or kidnapping the daughter. Like, all the stuff. And the kills are the only things to keep out for. But as I told you in text, Takashi Miike at this point, for me, I gotta have more than kills. Because all his movies all have those kills. I know that's gonna come, so I'm like, okay, cool. But what else is there? And so this one was disappointing. I didn't watch any of the supplements. I don't even think there are supplements outside of one interview. Yeah, there's really only one interview for this movie. And that's mostly just from Takashi Miike about him. And then there's a commentary track, which I was not going to watch. But, I mean, it's fine. It's not bad. If you've seen, like, any of his movies, you know what to expect. A better Yakuza film by Takashi Miike that I highly recommend is Ichi the Killer. I know it's more thriller, but I loved Ichi the Killer. It's very violent. You get the crazy protagonist. You get an antagonist who's like, who has scars on his cheeks, and he opens it up at one point and eats somebody's head open. Because he's like a snake. He dislocates like his cheeks. It's like a snake. It's awesome. The whole entire movie is amazing. So, a better movie is Ichi the Killer. Go watch that instead than this. Maybe if you saw this early, like only a few of Takashi Miike's, you would like it. But I don't like it. It was a Chinese mafia versus the Yakuza, which is like the Japanese mafia. I know we know them more as like what Ichi was a part of. It morphed from that actually. The Yakuza has been around for hundreds of years and morphs basically every time there's a new shift in society. I love that concept. It's not done enough. Well, I guess in Takashi Miike's case, he made like 40 of these fucking Yakuza films. But yeah, that's really all I have to say. I know it's only like 4.5 minutes looking at the counter, but yeah. Do you have any questions for me to expand on, or?
This sounds like it was just an alright movie, but I've been curious about that society because I've seen it around. Like you're talking about society films.
I really
And
like the
like you,
hmm?
like you, I'm barely unlike you, I should say, I'm barely digging into my K films, so I'm talking brand new. While you're like, I've already seen like 15 of these, so
Yeah, like I've seen the best of his best. Like I don't know where else to go.
at least you said it had some great kills in it. So
Yeah, I
or
mean,
good kills.
how long was this? An hour and 45, I believe. An hour 42. So it wasn't like, it wasn't awful. It wasn't Zatuichi versus Yoshimbo, which was like 40 minutes too long. But like, it wasn't short either. It was just in that sweet spot. So like, he knew what to do. He's very competent. I mean, everything's good in this movie, like, in terms of filmmaking. It's just, I've seen it before a million times. I've seen like 6 Yakuza films by him now. Rainy Dog is also in this, which I've talked about already. That one is probably the best one yet. I haven't seen Ley Lines yet. I'll probably watch that next. But it was fine. I mean, it's not bad. I really don't want to make people think like, oh, skip it. Because like, if you're early in Takashi Miike, it probably is really good. Because you don't know all his tropes. It's like Zatuichi. By the time you get past maybe 18, you've seen all of that the genre has to offer. So this might be good to watch earlier than I did. I mean, one day I'll do a list of all the Miike films I've seen, but I mean, I own like 10 of them, like, already. So I know for a fact I've
got a good collection.
10. Yeah. Although I do want all 100, just to say I do, not because they're all great. Some of them suck. Unlike this one. This one was just more of the same. So, trying to think what else. Rainy Dog, of course, I don't know if I finished my thought, is really awesome. So, but I saw that 3 years ago. I don't remember it really outside the end, because the ending of every Takashi Miike film is like insane. Like, watch the Dead or Alive movies, like, it turns into sci-fi buffoonery instantly. And I don't know why.
Oh. I've seen those around. I'm gonna have to look out for that.
The slipcover is awesome. I wish I had it.
Have to dig into those Miike films. I've only seen, I think, one. Miike, am I saying it right? I'm probably not pronouncing it right. Miike. Sounds like what I gotta see, you know, since I'm early in the films. But
I mean, it was a good deal. I got this trilogy for like $27. That's like $9 a movie. That's worth it in my opinion. When you get an interview with the director, you get 3 commentary tracks. Like, it's a good, you know, it's a good set.
Yeah.
So
it being a Yakuza movie, I think I'll enjoy it. It's a Yakuza.
Yeah, it's a gangster film, so yeah, it's good. What other Takashi Miike have you seen? Audition, I know, but anything else?
Audition. That's it. I saw that Tokyo Gore Police, but that wasn't him. You explained that to me. It should have been. So. Yeah.
Because we'd have a good release of it. Because we don't. As far as I know.
Yeah.
Like, super close. Because that's just another movie I need to get eventually. So.
Me too. I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah. I mean, Evercell's coming up, I guess, soon. This month, right? the Grindhouse
Was
sale.
it? Yeah.
It was the same time this last year.
Yeah. Already. Damn.
So, fuck. Oh well. I've caught up really on my Vinegar Syndrome. A lot of the stuff on my wish list. Thank you, Vinegar Syndrome app, by the way, for finally introducing the wish list app for the wish list feature in your fucking website. Because for years I've been like, I wish that we had a wish list, and we finally got it. But back to my point, everything on my wish list is like last 6 months. Like everything's above 1,000, quantity. I mean, even the televised terror, which like I was shocked that it wasn't below 1,000 units. That's way above. It's like 2,000.
Wow.
So I'm just waiting until the sale.
I still gotta watch those films.
Yeah,
Got the
I'm
box
excited.
set on my shelf, and I still haven't got to them.
Well, this is why we're doing the Withering Watchpile.
Yeah.
So we can knock these out. Because I need to knock out my wish lists and all that.
Yeah, that's what I like about it. I'm going through films that I had there that I want to see that I haven't got to.
Well, what'd you watch? I have enough. That's about 10 minutes.
No, that's fine. It's gonna be kind of a coincidence, but I also watched a Yakuza gangster film.
Ooh.
That was my first film. It's gonna be Graveyard of Honor, the original.
That's another. Oh, the original. I know Takashi Miike did the remake, which I almost.
Yeah, he did the remake. Yeah, this is 1975,
Holy fuck.
and it's directed by I don't know if I'll say this right, but Kinji Fukasaku.
Yeah. I think
And
that's
he
how it is. I don't know him.
another director that died. I don't know why. Every director I've watched has passed away. So it continues.
Don't you do a Takashi Miike one. He's still going strong.
Yeah. I don't want to jinx anything, but yeah, this is pretty much the story about Rikyu Ishikawa. He's a Yakuza from the Kawada family. It tells his story. Kind of starts kind of like, I'd say, documentary style in a way, but it introduces him. And yeah, this film, I'm going to be honest, it's kind of depressing. Pretty depressing as well. I just like,
Most
it tells his
movies are, yeah.
Yeah, it tells his story. He's like a guy, he grew up like a straight A student, a real lovable kid, but as he got older, he started to get in trouble, and a menacing sign came out to him. He joined a Yakuza gang. That's what his dream was. So,
Same. That's what I grew up wanting to be.
yeah, me too. And he's pretty much this bad character. I mean, there's a scene where he grabs rice cake from this shop. He just starts eating it, doesn't pay for it. And then he goes and pisses on his women and calls them whores.
Oh my gosh, I just remembered a couple of the kills. I'll go back to that.
And it's like, okay. And he's just like, he joins this Yakuza clan, and he's just like this rebel. He doesn't go by any of the rules. He's not a good character at all. And what pretty much happens to him in this film is he pretty much gets drunk. He's starting anywhere. Some rape scenes in this film that are pretty disturbing. He starts trouble with all the gangs. Finally, the leaders hit it with him, so he beats them pretty brutally. And then you see him pretty much gets drunk, comes back, and pretty much fights his Yakuza leader. I guess they're called like Godfathers, and pretty much kills them. And it leads him on the run. All the Yakuza gang are after him, and he's pretty much on the streets. He finds a girl to hang out with, or several girls. It just goes a down spiral story to him. He starts to get on drugs. He's addicted to heroin. It's depressing, this film. You just see his downfall. It's like nothing positive about this guy, and he's just, he's not scared of anyone, but he just has the wrong personality, and it's just like the whole film goes to his downfall spiral where everyone's after him. He can't trust anyone. There is a lot of like not a lot of gang fights, but a few, and it does have some bloodiness to it. It's weird because they fight with guns and swords. It's like a mixture, and yeah, it's like I said, it's really depressing. He goes to the end and pretty much has everyone after him, from the cops to all the Yakuza gangs. And yeah, he. What else do I have to say on this? Like, it's weird because he's like, I don't know, he dodges death so many times in this film. There's like so many times like, oh yeah, he's a dead motherfucker. But no, he he lives somehow. It's like this guy had like 9 lives like a cat. But it's just yeah, I just thought it was decent. It had some blood splatter in it, and uh some pretty cool scenes, but other than that, it was real depressing. That's what got me down. I watched this film and I was like, damn, man, this is getting me down watching this. But overall, it's a film to watch, I would say, but it's not one of the best. I want to see the remake with Mike, because he did the remake.
I'm sure it's really
in that
bloody.
box set. Yeah, so that could be a second Mike film I see. I get to it. That's pretty much all I got to talk on that film.
Yeah, one thing that shows up, or two things really, that shows up a lot in these like Yakuza films is the mixture of guns and samurai swords. Because sometimes, like, they'll just come in, like, guns versus samurai swords. And samurai swords will always, like, be, like, winning, no matter what.
Yeah.
And it'll be so much blood. And this is why I kind of want to watch the Mike remake, because I know he dials up the blood all the way. I mean, in my movie, there's a kill where, like, a woman is kind of like a pimp, kind of, but her boss is like a greater pimp, like a higher ranking pimp. And he just shows out no way. He's like, oh yeah, by the way, you got 60% more money. And she's like, what? Like, none of my prostitutes make enough money to do that. And then, like, he just, like, Mike is great at this, just random acts of violence. Where people would just, like, explode and just do horrific acts of violence. And then, and in this movie, he just, like, reaches his hand into this girl's eyeball and whips it out and throws it into a cup and makes her drink it. Nice. And that was probably the highlight of the movie. There's a lot of, one thing that was odd about this was that there was a lot of gay subtext, which I wasn't expecting. It's probably the best thing about the movie, was how, there's this whole subtext and, like, not messaging. I guess subtext is the word, where, like, all these gang members were so, like, close to each other and, like, don't let anyone in, that they, like, fell in love with each other, which was interesting. He hasn't done that before. It's probably the only thing that set my movie apart from his others. But, like, that's it. But the kills are pretty good. There's a lot of anal inspections happening, because the police keep coming in looking for, like, stolen diamonds or something. It reminded me of Whitefire, which I'd rather have seen. So.
Yeah.
But
still sounds like one I gotta check out.
Another thing that's common in these Yakuza movies, which you talked about, was the whole, like, how depressing it is. It's very much a, I guess, merging of Western gangster films, where they never win. They always lose. Every Godfather movie, the main guy dies. I mean, I don't remember the second one. It's been a very long time since I've seen Godfather 2. I loved it, by the way. I'm not one of those weirdos who think it's too long. I've seen Kurosawa. Like, I've seen 4-hour movies. So, Godfather's 2.5 hours is not much. People overblow it a little bit, I think. But, in Godfather, every single Martin Scorsese film, every Takashi Miike Yakuza film, our main guys always lose. I mean, the ending of Ichi the Killer is, like, our main hero just sobbing and killing himself. Like, and it's not even a spoiler, because you just see him, his first appearance, and you're like, yeah, this guy's fucked up, like, mentally. As I said, the title card for the movie where it says Ichi the Killer, by Takashi Miike. It's like white, cloudy liquid rising out, saying "Ichi the Killer" out of a puddle of cum. So like,
Oh, shit.
I love Ichi the Killer. It's his best Yakuza film, but like, they're all depressing. I mean, I think that's from the '70s of like Martin Scorsese's like what gangster movies did he do? Goodfellas, but that's like '90s. You know that whole genre.
I'm not sure.
With like Robert De Niro,
Yeah,
Joe Pesci, all of them. I mean,
the
they
whole
never
genre.
win. They never win, and that bled
love
over
those
to
movies.
Takashi Miike and I guess Graveyard's
Yeah, you kind of expect that, you know.
Yeah. I mean, Wolf of Wall Street is really funny, but it still ends with our main guy losing. So.
It's just some about the pacing of this film, of Graveyard of Honor, that got to me.
We're on a delay, by the way. if I'm accidentally interrupting you.
I kind of sense that. Yeah, this film, I guess it just had like pacing issues. Like there's real slow stuff, and I don't mind that, but it just didn't have like a payoff to me. Like I like the end. I like how he couldn't die. He kept dodging death. I thought that was interesting. But other than that, it's a character you really don't care for. But I mean, like you said, in every gangster movie, they're bad guys. What do you expect?
That's probably my favorite part. Is them just losing.
Like I didn't hate the movie. I kind of liked the movie, but it's just like an average one for me.
That's how I felt with Shinjuku Triad Society. I didn't hate it. I mean, it was good. I liked it.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say on that film.
Alright, well, I guess I can go into my next one.
Same here. I think we're like the same level on these two films. Go for it, man. Can't wait to hear it.
So this is my second to last one. I guess my middle film. I thought it was a little better than Shinjuku Triad Society, but this one is a George Romero film. It's one of the final ones that I haven't seen. I finally saw it. It's There's Always Vanilla, which nobody knows about for a good reason. As I hinted at, George Romero fucking hates.
Is this George Romero?
Yeah, George A. Romero from not Walking Dead, Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Monson, all those. And so, as I said, he fucking hates this film. There's an audio interview with him called Digging Up the Dead, the Lost Films of George A. Romero, which is an archived interview, obviously. He was dead by the time this came out. Where he's talking about his early films of There's Always Vanilla and Season of the Witch, which Season of the Witch is less interesting, in my opinion, than There's Always Vanilla. But it's more about, like, I don't know, the study of the craft with Season of the Witch. Because this movie is all about a guy and a woman falling in love. And the guy is, like, an asshole and all that. But what ended up happening is that he wasn't even the director for this. He just edited the film. And the director who actually made this film is, they don't even mention who he is, like, on this. George Romero just, like, debunks everything in his interview. And he, the original director, like, shot, like, 40 minutes or so, using 10 minutes of, one of the actors. He plays the bad boy. And the entire movie, he has a bunch of awkward scenes where he's just talking to the camera, being like, yeah, I loved her, but she was a bitch, and, you know, this, that, and the other, and being a bad boy, like, whatever. But, like, all those scenes of him talking to the camera was supposed to be him showing off his acting skills. It was basically an acting reel for the actor to, like, turn into, like, studios and stuff, to, like, get hired to better films. And the original actor took that footage and made his own movie and had like 40, 60 minutes added to an hour and 20 minutes. And then George Romero was like, what the fuck? You just took my footage. Like, give me that. And he took it back He edited it into a better movie, and then they did pickup shots. Because Wonder Woman on the release, I believe, ended up being his wife. It was either this or Season the Witch, which is really cool because in the behind the scenes, it's like, yeah, the guy who owned the house, he had a daughter. It was the house that they filmed at for the movie. They didn't actually make a set. They just showed up to a guy's house and got permission to shoot in it. I fuck it up a bit. Like, really cheap. And the household owner, his daughter, ended up being an actress. So she met with George Romero. They fell in love instantly. And they were married until George Romero died. And she still hasn't remarried. And she's great. She pops up every now and then. She was in Martin. She was, I think, Tom Savini's girlfriend? I don't know. They were all best friends. Like, Tom Savini, George Romero, his wife, obviously, all those. But, yeah, that's basically what happened. And George Romero, at one point on the interview, was like, because the interviewer who was at Anchor Bay, this was an archived interview, so they bought it from Anchor Bay. The guy interviewing, like, kept asking questions, and finally George Romero, like, in the middle of the interview, was like, you know what? All I have is awful memories of this movie. I hate this movie. I didn't want to do it. I just wanted it to, like, show off this actor so you can get better movies. Like, can we just stop talking about this? And then they just moved on to like, other stuff. So George Romero hated this movie. I think it's interesting. The behind the scenes. That's the only reason I'll keep it. I mean, the movie itself is just boring. It's constant back and forth bantering between the woman and the bad boy. And the bad boy, like, randomly talks to the camera, but, like, that's the original footage of the original movie, which wasn't even a movie. It was, like, an acting reel to show his, like, wide range of talents. From yelling to being sad and crying to, like, being like, yeah, I'm a tough guy. Like, all that stuff. So, it's interesting how they made a movie out of that. Out of all this different footage that 3 different people shot. I mean, it was his second movie ever, technically. So, right after Night of the Living Dead. This was 1970, so 2 years after Night of the Living Dead. So, the movie itself sucks, but when you factor in the behind the scenes, it's really interesting. I don't really have much else to talk about for this. The movie itself sucks.
Nice.
Don't watch it, but I love the behind the scenes.
And I've always wondered about these films because they came in a box set, right? Like an Arrow box set. Like
Yeah, from Night Until Dawn. I didn't get the box because it was
I missed
way
out
sold
on that,
out.
but
by the
I've always
time I got
wondered
to
about
it.
those films, like the 3 films in there, and this was one of them. But since you said it sucked, same here. But
I think if you
sometimes that's interesting because, like you said, the special features picked up the film for you, so I guess that's a good thing. You could say.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think it's required watching for a George Romero fan. Like, if you're like me, who has seen almost every single thing by him and knows so much about him, because I took a George Romero class with Will. But, like, this is really interesting to, like, study and, like, watch the behind the scenes of. Like, I legitimately think it's really interesting in that regard. The movie itself is, like, awful and, like, boring. It's not like, it doesn't offend me, because some movies I watch, I just get angry watching because I hate it so much. This one is like, I don't even hate it, I'm just like, okay, whatever. But it's all the behind the scenes that I really loved. So yeah. Excuse me.
It kind of reminds me of Zombie 3, where Fulci started it, got sick, and then you have Bruno Mattei take over it.
Oh no.
The film just
The
goes to a
West guy.
whole different film. Like, you could see, like, Fulci scenes in it, like his gore at times, but then it goes into, like, Bruno Mattei, where you're watching, like, a kind of action zombie ripoff film. It's like, I don't know. It's just a weird, strange film. But that's what kind of reminded me when you said like Romero's like I edited it, I didn't direct it. I think Fulci would have said the same thing about that film.
That reminds me of Spookies, where they had a competent
was
film in the beginning, and then some guy came in and fucking ruined that movie. Although I guess George Romero saved it. So.
Yeah, because like on Zombie 3, you have a flying zombie head, and you could tell that was Fulci because it looks so cool. It's just a head flying. And I'm like, that's Fulci definitely. But then you go to like an action film where the action guy's yelling and shooting with a cigar in his mouth. You're like, okay, we're at Bruno Mattei. But yeah, it sounds like reminded me of that film for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, I mean, if I had a gun to my head and told to find a better film like this, I would say Badlands.
Overall, did you enjoy this film, or it's just not very good?
I liked it a lot. I mean, it was fine. I mean, again, when I was watching it, I was like, okay, what's the George Romero bits? And like, what's all his, great cinematography? What's his famous cameos? Was Tom Savini? That's all I was thinking of while watching the movie. Like, the story just is so boring. It's girl falls in love with bad boy mistreats her. That's the entire movie. I mean,
you need that in a Romero film.
Yeah, like, if Romero was involved from the beginning as director, it would have been much better. But it wasn't. It was just them trying to show off the actor's talent. And then a guy took the footage, turned it into something else, and then George Romero had to come in and edit it, and he was like, oh shit, we have all this, like, empty scenes. Okay, let's do pickup shots. And so that's what they did. And it's sad. I feel bad for Romero having to do all that, so... But if I had to choose a better movie that was like this, about, good girl falls in love with bad boy, I would choose The Badlands by Terrence Malick with Martin Sheen and Sissy Spacek. It's released on Criterion. They go on a road trip, and it's like Bonnie and Clyde. Uh-huh. It's really good. I mean, Bonnie and Clyde is another great one to recommend of this type of genre. So I recommend those if I had a gun to my head. Nice. I mean, I think this is a really interesting movie to, compare and contrast with George Romero's career. So.
Interesting. I like those kind of Bonnie and Clyde stories, even modern day ones.
They just have a great, like, adventuring sense, in my opinion. Like, oh, what if I just ran away with my love, and just went on a killing spree and then lived like, there was no tomorrow, quite literally. Like, that's why I love those movies. I mean, what's that other one? Easy Rider? With, Dustin Hoffman? That one's really good.
Have you seen Natural Born Killers?
I haven't. That's like the last of the major, like, road trip.
That movie is crazy. Like, you're like feel like you're on an acid trip through the whole movie. It's bonkers. I like it.
But yeah, that was my second best. Maybe second worst if you want to be pessimistic. But, yeah. I think I've said all I've had to say.
Interesting.
What's your second movie? Yeah, I guess it's your turn. The second movie.
All right. This one I did enjoy a lot. And remember I told you it's like a well-known film? So
I was wondering.
I don't know if you've seen it, but it was a first-time watch. It's going to be Invasion of the Body Snatchers, 1978.
Oh, shit. The one with Donald Sutherland, right?
Yeah, with Donald Sutherland. Okay, let's get... This film is like one of the most unique kind of alien-type films I've seen. Because it's pretty much about organisms, I'm going to call it that. I might not have said that right, but they fall from another planet and pretty much land on Earth. and they start forming these like killer like these plants that they kind of reminded me of Little Shop of Horrors in a way, but
Yeah.
smaller. But yeah, they form here and they pretty much, like I guess take over people and stuff like that. But you got Donald Sutherland. He's playing like a health inspector. It's hilarious. He's like in this restaurant. This guy's all panicking. He pulls out a little thing with a like a tweezer, and he's like, "Okay, rat turd, your restaurant's written up." And this guy's all pissed off. He like walks out of the restaurant. He goes to his car, and all like the cooks have thrown Coke bottles at his car, smashed his window, and then they're over there acting like they didn't do nothing. So he drives away in his car all with the windows busted up. But yeah, he's pretty much a health inspector, and he's starting to like go around these characters. There's another girl in there, like I forgot her name, but she's one of the main characters too. She has this husband that he's pretty much the first one that gets infected by this because she finds that flower and takes it home, and he starts to act strange. She notices. She thinks he's having an affair on her, so she goes to Sutherland, who they're like workmates. They're both like in the health inspecting business, and pretty much to like comfort her. And there's like a little love interest between them, you can tell. But anyways, they start to realize like all kinds of people are just like acting weird and strange. They're like robotic and controlled, and then it's pretty interesting. And then you got like Jeff Goldblum. He just shows up randomly in this film, just acting like his weird self.
He must be really young then.
It's like it's just randomly. He's just there complaining about his job. Oh yeah, he's very young, and he's like an author that his book failed. He's all pissed off. He's slamming his book on the floor, and he works like at a mud bath place, and he's tired of it. And he's just this real strange character. But anyways, that's where you get into a scene where he's actually these alien organisms can duplicate you, so it makes another Jeff Goldblum. It's like strange. It's like in a cocoon. I don't know if cocoon or like shedded. It's real weird. Their skin looks like shedded, and yeah, what I like about this film is it doesn't show you the aliens taking over your body. It makes you like imagine what it's like. Like you don't get like spoon fed, pretty much like, okay, alien goes in your body's cut in half, you're walking with alien claws around. This one just makes you wonder, well, what did it do to him? Because you just see them like walking around just like straight puppets. And that's what I like about films that let you imagine stuff pretty much. But anyways, you got this has like a cast that just pops up. You got Leonard Nimoy, Spock from Star Trek, pop up in this as a psychiatrist. And he's real odd too. Like a real odd character. You could tell he's menacing, and it just builds up tension. And then you have like these parasites are growing in water and spreading, and then there's a scene like where Donald Sutherland's asleep in the grass, and this thing's like taking hold of his hand, like it's just getting in there, and it makes a complete duplicate of him, and it's coming out of like the plant. It's just awesome effects. I really like that scene. And then you got all these figures and kind of scream like loud. You kind of like a banshee scream.
Yeah, I know that
cool.
that clip
And
with Donald Sutherland
I thought it had
where he does that.
Yeah, that's the famous scene in it. But anyways, you got him screaming, and then it kind of reminded me of Halloween 3 with the masks. They're trying to get to the bottom of it, but they won't give into it. So it gave me that feel throughout the film, like of Halloween 3.
6 more days to
But yeah, it's like, obey, you have to do this and that, they're controlling them. Yeah, this film was just, it's atmospheric, and like I said, it's filmed correct, like it makes you wonder. I love films that make you imagining what's happening, it's not spoon feeding you. But that's what it does a lot through this film. And real creepy atmospheric film. And like you were saying about the Donald Sutherland scene, that's probably the most shocking part of the film. I won't give it away, but that's one you need to see. Yeah, overall this film I highly enjoyed. It was a first time watch for me as well. And I think it's a remake as well. I think there's like a 1956 film of it.
Yeah, there's like 100 remakes. That's why people always say, which remake do you like? Do you like the 70s, the 80s, the 50s? Like, Because it's remade from a novel, I think, from like the 1910s. Like,
Oh,
like it's really old.
yeah.
So I haven't seen it, but
Interesting.
I know that clip a lot. And I didn't realize it was a Arrow Video release. I thought it was Shout Factory. That sounds like a Shout Factory release to me, honestly.
They both have it, Shout Factory and Arrow.
Okay, that makes sense
But
then.
I think the slipcover is real out of print on that film. But yeah, I put this up with like The Thing, Carpenter's The Thing, and like The Blob. It's like a
I,
remake that's done better.
yeah, I was gonna say it really reminds me of Blob. So, although I love the remake of the Blob a lot more than the original. The original sucks. I hate it. But
Drive-in movie, like you said.
yeah, you're there with your girlfriend. You're kissing for 20 minutes. Oh god, scare you. Okay, go back to kissing for another 30 minutes. Meanwhile, it's just cops talking. We gotta go find the Blob. And it's like, oh god. I like the remake a lot more.
Yeah, this movie just I like the remake better. I would say the same. I haven't seen the original of this film, but this remake was on point, man, for me.
What year did you say the original
And
was?
it just 1956. I looked it up.
Okay, I bet it was really boring.
There's also a third remake. Yeah, I would say so.
I haven't seen the third one.
But yeah, this film, I've seen the how can I say a Blu-ray of it, but I've never watched it. But yeah, I'm gonna put this up with like The Thing and The Blob as better remakes, my opinion.
I'll be sure to add that to my wish list on Grindhouse Video. Because I can never buy anything direct from Arrow. Or it's really expensive.
But yeah, it's got the practical effects on it that are pretty cool. But yeah, I highly recommend this film.
I guess I don't.
That's pretty much all I gotta say on this one.
I guess I don't need to ask the question of if there's a better movie. What do you recommend? Because it's a really good movie. So it's great that the two movies I've done, I've had to recommend better ones.
Yeah. The only one I could say is The Thing is better.
That's a 10 out of 10 movie, though. You can't.
Yeah, you're not gonna beat that one.
I love the Shout Factory special features. Oh my gosh, the one where they talk with all of the cast members. Because I've only ever cared for what's his name? Kurt Russell, is that his name? Yeah, I've only really cared for his character.
Kurt Russell.
And maybe Diabetes Guy, Wilford Brimley. But like after watching that special feature where they interview everybody, like I love them all now. I see all of the characters. Like it's definitely an ensemble cast. So.
Oh yeah.
I just had to gloat.
I feel you could
and love all on the Shout Factory release real quick.
That's one you could watch over and over, not get tired of it.
I'm so excited for Spooktober. 3 more weeks. Oh my gosh. Yeah, 3 weeks exactly until Oktoberfest. Oh my gosh.
Yep. Lineup time. 31 days of horror.
Oh man, I can't. I'm taking the entire week off of the 10th. Not because I have to pet sit, but I'm definitely gonna load up on Halloween movies.
Me too. I need to pick some up too. I want to do my like rare films, like not the ones you hear of all the time, but you'll probably still see that in my lineup. But I'm gonna try to keep it as rare as I can.
I'll see what I can do. I mean, I haven't even looked at my list. Because usually I do the same 30 movies every year. With like maybe a couple variations. Like last year I finally did all the Ringu movies. Like for the first time. Because I got the box set from, Arrow. So, like that was nice.
Yeah.
The Fly, I did that for the first time. Like, I really go with the classics every Halloween. So.
You're gonna see me with a lot of classics too. but I am gonna throw some rare ones in there.
I'm gonna try to stick with only stuff I own so I can show it off when I do videos.
Yeah,
So
same here. I want to watch a lot of films I haven't seen,
I don't
so I could
have
either shit on
many.
them or say they're amazing.
I'm saving Demon Wind. I'll go ahead and spoil that for by October.
That's a great one to do for October, I think.
What's the second movie? No, wait.
Oh, I just did that one.
Oh,
It
oh
was
my gosh, it's
Invasion
my
of the
turn.
Body Snatchers. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's your turn. It's actually your turn. Yeah.
I was spaced out here, just drinking my beer.
I almost said the thing.
Oh, did you rewatch that?
No, it's just in my head now. We were talking about it. Oh shit.
I debated that just rewatching the thing, because technically it is a video, but I have it on Shout Factory. I was really tempted. 'Cause I was really in the mood to watch the thing this week, but I was like, no, that's Shout Factory. So
Love that movie.
but,
I got the Arrow video edition.
Do you have the limited? I know that one is like
I don't.
awesome. Super awesome looking.
I got it with a slipcover, but it's not the limited edition.
I'm sure it's fine. I mean, I've been shocked with how good the Shout Factory one is, honestly. So
It looks cool. I like the original art on it. The original,
yeah, I have.
which is on the Arrow video as well.
Yeah, that was the first thing I did with my Shout Factory was flip it to the original. I mean, I like the new one they did, but can't go on with the guy in the suit with the lights coming out of his face.
Yeah, it's iconic for sure.
But let me go in my third movie. So
All
this
right.
is a rewatch. This is the first one I watched, and it was my favorite one because I knew, I want to start off on good foot. So this is a Meiko Kaji film, who we all love. She was Lady Snowblood. She did Stray Cat Walk, and a couple other movies. I'm definitely not reading off the back, looking at her credits. But this was Blind Woman's Curse. It's a rewatch. I saw it years ago and I loved it, and I still love it now. It's very bloody. It's about a woman who gets cursed by a cat, and she's like the gang leader of like the dragons, like the dragon clan, and it takes place in like Satuichi time, so the 1800s, mid 1800s. Although a random truck shows up for no reason at all, but aside from that, it's all 1800s stuff, and they also have guns at like one scene. I don't know why, but it's basically she's the head of the Dragonhead clan, and so everybody in her clan has the body of a dragon tattooed on the back. So what they do when they attack is that they all link together by their backs. So it's like the camera is far behind and you see this long dragon, and she has a dragon head on her back. Then it leads into all the grunts, and whoever is doing the tail end, like the final end, is also like really awesome. So like what they do is that they stick together shoulder to shoulder and they kill people, and it's awesome. And hoses are just everywhere, abound in this movie. Like one swipe and the entire wall is red, like that kind of blood. It's amazing. I love it. It's very erotic. There's a lot of scenes of like her fucking people and killing them. It's amazing. Her antagonist is another woman who I don't know, but she's very familiar looking. But she cursed Meiko Kaji's character, who is the head of the Dragonhead clan. And the entire movie is her trying to break the curse of the Black Cat. So we also get a ghost story in this movie.
Oh,
Samurai
nice.
Yakuza film. So it's everything that Lone Wolf and Cub guy wanted. That long name, which I'm not gonna try to do because it's been like 2 months since I've even looked at that name. But it's from the director Teruo Ishii, who is like the king of cult, it says on the back here. He did many different movies, like Horrors of Malformed Men, which is another era video title, which I didn't realize that was the same director, so I'm going to have to pick that up now.
I love that movie. I have it.
Oh, do you? Oh, so it's that director. So there you go.
Nice.
That's another badge to why you should watch it right now. Not well, after we do the episode, but as soon as you can. But
yeah.
Mieko Kaji, I mean, she's wonderful. It's the first major film that she's in. After she did this movie, everyone realized how awesome she was, acting-wise and beauty-wise. So she was in Lady Snowblood very shortly after, I believe. What year was this? For some reason, it's not showing up. It's 85 minutes long, first of all. Okay, so it's really fast. That's always awesome.
Yeah, and there, good. Man.
Yeah, like this movie is just awesome. I loved it. I mean, it's a rewatch, so I knew I was gonna love it going in. But this time, I really paid attention to the cinematography because after watching 25 fucking Zatoichi movies, where we get a lot of different like cinematography techniques going on, which we barely talked about because there was enough to talk about.
Yeah.
This movie had it all. Lots of breasts, lots of blood. I don't think any beasts, because they say the 3 B's is all you need for a cult film: breast, blood, and beasts. But they really don't have anything in terms of of special features. They have a audio commentary, which is nice, but that's it. That's what sucks about this release. Is that they only have an audio commentary, which I don't
think
do.
I saw any on any of my movies.
It's probably the lowest special feature count. Oh, so another great
I loved her
point.
in Lady Snowblood.
Yeah, another plot point is that all of Mieko Kaji's gang members, the ones with the dragon tattoos on their backs, they're all getting skinned alive by people who get possessed by the cat. So, and they leave like mystery notes and being like, oh, find me up on the hill with the single tree and like stuff like that. And so she has to go and investigate it. It's like, oh, so awesome. There's a mystery element too, which is awesome. And the way it turns out is fucking ridiculous, and I love it. So I don't have much else to say. I don't want to spoil it. Like, I think you have enough to go off of to know that you want to watch it immediately. So, it's really good. I really like this movie.
Yeah, oh yeah. Sounds right up my alley.
There's no better movie, like, in the genre.
It has the 3 B's, man. That's all I had to hear.
Aside from beasts. It didn't have beasts. Well, I guess a cat. Yeah, technically it has all 3.
And does it come in a box set? Like,
no. I wish there was
or is it like a single release?
Yakuza box set. That'd be awesome. But nah, it's just a single. I don't even think there was a limited edition.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, sounds right. Like a film I gotta see. Does it have blood spray in it?
Oh yeah, they have hoses and they turn the entire wall red with like a nick of the sword.
I know that's awesome. A simple question, but
oh, they got slow motion shots too. So in the beginning of the film, when they're linked together as the dragon and they're killing people, they go slow motion, like during the intro credits, kind of like when Ichi was singing and he was like walking down the road. It's just like that, but instead of a blind guy walking down the road, you get the dragon
Oh, wow.
and everyone slicing people up in slow motion, and you watch as the hoses go off and just paint the entire fucking place red. It's really awesome. You gotta watch it.
That's what I fucking love, man. That blood spray.
Again, this is why I hate Quentin Tarantino, because he stole so much from this movie, honestly, for Kill Bill.
Yeah, you did.
That and Lady Snowblood. So, I don't want to get into that, because that's a whole thing that I've discussed plenty of times. So,
It might get a little feety.
I can't stand that either, that he incorporates his fetish into his films. Like, do that on your own.
Yeah.
Like, whatever, I don't care what adults do behind the camera. Don't do it on camera. For literally
is this
everyone
like a
else to
single
see.
movie, or is there... Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Is this like a single movie, or is there like a trilogy to this, or is it just
No,
like
it's
a
just this one.
standalone film? Oh, okay.
So what you want to see if you want a series or a trilogy is Lady Snowblood. Or Stray Cat Walk.
No,
Stray Cat
I've
Walk
seen
has
those.
6 movies. So...
I've seen Lady Snowblood, and I loved it.
I highly recommend Stray Cat Walk. I've seen all of them. And I loved 4 out of the 6. So, it's pretty good odds.
Yeah. I'd buy that for $1. Oh no, I'm saying RoboCop here. Oh, no.
Is that your next movie? Because I was going to watch it.
I wish. Nah. You want me to go on to the third film here?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. Okay, I know I reviewed last time for Vinegar Syndrome, Auntie Lee's Meat Pies. So this film's gonna be in the same kind of situation here.
Oh, no.
It's one not to take serious, but man, it's a fucking blast to me. I don't know why. I'm gonna go into Beyond Reanimator 2003.
Oh, shit. They've done that? I thought that was Vestal.
Yeah. No, it's actually Arrow and has a cool ass slipcover with it.
Oh, my God. I never knew they had that. Because I've seen... Is that number 3 of the series?
Number 3.
Okay, I've seen number 2 and I love that. Almost as much as the original, but I haven't seen 3 yet. So, tell me about it. I'm really excited.
Okay. It's 2003, directed by Brian Usna, Society, The Dentist. You know Brian Usna, I don't need to introduce him. But,
Return of the Living Dead 3, don't forget.
You guys...
One of his best films he ever did.
Return of the Living... Yes, there you go. That is one of his best. You got Dr. Herbert West, Jeffrey Combs back in this one, and he's older. And he's still as creepy and odd as he is in all the films. But you got like pretty much these 2 kids in a tent scaring each other, and then they're getting babysitted by their older sister. And you pretty much... she's really hot, by the way. You got her. But anyways, you just got these... They're telling ghost stories, and all of a sudden they hear a noise. And you see like this...
Plagiarist.
these footsteps, like with mud going into the house. And the kids are like, nah, we're just imagining this. And then they find the door unlocked. They go in and they're like messing with their older sister. And then all of a sudden you see this like corpse walk in. It kind of reminded me of Day of the Dead, where the zombie's missing the mouth.
Oh, yeah.
Reminded me of that zombie. He fucking walks in and just mutilates the babysitter, the girl, the older sister.
Oh, no.
Starts slamming her head into the wall. And that's how the film starts. And then you got like the kid, he's traumatized, and he sees Dr. West getting arrested for this. I guess one of his reanimated corpse escaped. So you have Dr. West, I'm going to call him. You got him going to prison. They finally caught him. He's in the prison cell. And he's still doing his experiments. He's like electrocuting rats and bringing them back and shit in his jail cell. Like, he gets it off a light bulb.
Later.
It's just real. This film is real odd. Like, it's great. And then, anyways, you have that boy that was traumatized. He's a doctor now. It fast forwards years later, and he winds up at this penitentiary with Dr. West. So you know what's coming. He's gonna pretty much pretty much con him into working with him, so they start bringing corpses back in the prison.
Turns into the
So
first
this
movie,
guy
it
that pretty
seems.
much, yeah, pretty similar. And you have this prisoner that has like a heart attack, so it starts with him. They bring him back, and he's pretty much drooling out the mouth like he's got rabies, and he's got like these awful teeth, like sharp teeth, and he pretty much is attacking the guards. You see some blood spray, um, and they pretty much have him in the hole. And then you have this menacing warden that's pretty much, he has a girl interviewing him, another hot girl, and he's pretty much sexually harassing her inside the jail, or assaulting her, and she's like not taking it. She's like grossed out by him or whatever.
Good.
But he's the villain in this film. So then you have the doctor, the little boy. He's older now. He comes in as a doctor for the jail. Him and her have a love interest. They fall in love, whatever. And they pretty much, she's undercover. What turns out, she's a reporter undercover in the cell. She wants to catch pretty much make a story out of that jail, whatever. And so she has to go undercover and flirt with this scumbag. That's, he knows a pervert, the warden. So you have, as they're reanimating corpses, you have a tragedy happen. Of course, it goes back to the reanimator films. She dies, and you have her brought back by Dr. West and him. And she's pretty much like awkward, like her hands move. She has another personality in her, and she's very vicious, seductive, but then she kills them as she brings them in. So then you got all these corpses brought back, and there's even a rat brought back that Dr. West killed. They bring it back, and then it belongs to this prisoner who wants to kill him. It was like his pet in jail or whatever. So he brings him back and gives him to the prisoner, and pretty much this rat's chewing apart faces and taking noses off of his buddies and shit.
Nice.
So he wants revenge. And then you got it's pretty much your story you see throughout the Reanimator films. But anyways, it gets pretty crazy because you have a nurse, a real hot nurse too.
Barbara Crampton.
She gets this girl's more Spanish. She's more like Mexican. She's hot. And then you have her
They're hot.
her nipple gets bit off by one of the prisoners that's reanimated.
Oh my god.
So you got some crazy shit, and then you got this prisoner that's just like badly addicted to drugs. He'll take anything. So he gets Dr. West's injection. Yeah, and he fucking turns into this mutilated corpse that looks awesome. And then you got it's funny because in this film, like all the prisoners, there's some of them that aren't like Spanish, but they all have Spanish accents. It's real bad. Like, I don't know. It just, all of them have a Spanish accent in the prison for some reason. But yeah. Anyways, you have the warden, like I was saying, he has a real gruesome death where he's trying to get a blowjob from the girl and she bites pretty much his dick off.
Hey.
And you have his dick just waggling around. It actually shows it. And anyways, the rat takes off with his dick. So
that's exactly like a scene from Killer Condom. Literally.
Is it?
Yeah.
No way.
The Killer Condom bites off a giant dick and then runs off with it. It's great. That's why I love it.
Wow, I didn't know that. But anyways, they pretty much, the warden dies. I don't know if that's a spoiler, but when he dies, his dick gets an erection and it shows the dick like get hard. It's like loose there.
And the mouse
then he dies and
on
then
it.
well, anyways, we'll fast forward, but anyways, be sure to watch the end credits because it shows the mouse dragging the dick inside his like little lair, and the dick becomes like pretty much a reanimated thing too, and it pops an erection, and you have the rat and the dick having a slap off contest.
Oh my god.
So this movie is just crazy, dude. Yeah, I just love the effects. You could tell Brian Usna was all over this. It's just real odd, and there's so much. You have this girl just pretty much, like I said, the girlfriend, she becomes just like possessed, or shall I say reanimated corpse. She has some stuff where she jumps on, like pretty much for the guy to eat her out, but then she crushes his neck. So it's just real bizarre. But yeah, I really love this film. I just thought it was like just a blast. and the effects were on point. I like the prison setting. I like films with like prison settings.
Have you seen
And you have
Penitentiary?
Dr. West. I haven't. No.
Oh, come on. That's like the best boxing film ever. And it takes place in a prison. So, hey. But, what are you saying?
Heard good things about it. No, I just said it. It has Jeffrey Combs as his bizarre self. He's on point again. Older, but
He's on Star Trek, too.
is he? Oh wow.
That's what he did all of the 90s. Aside from shitty direct-to-video
Shitty
horror
B-movies.
films.
Yeah, I don't know. I had a blast with this one. It's B movie-ish, this one, but it does everything to satisfy me. That's like pretty much a gore hound.
All I want to know is, was the dick voiced by Joe Pilato? And was he saying, choke on him? Because that would be perfect.
Oh, that'd have been epic.
Choke on him!
Yeah, this
As
fucking
the
the dick man.
going away.
It has him and the rat standing off, slapping each other. Like the rat slapping the dick, and then the dick slapping him back.
I'm gonna have to watch it just for that.
It's like,
honestly.
oh my god. And it's on the end credits, so don't turn it off on the end credits.
It's like a Marvel end credits.
Yeah.
You might see Thor. You might see a dick slapping a mouse. You don't know, man.
Dude, they're on a standoff. It's like a sparring match between the dick and the rat.
That's the best kind of match, in my opinion.
Yeah. And it's funny because you could use the phrase dick slap because he does dick slap the rat.
Have you seen the second one?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I've seen 1 and 2, but I haven't seen the third one. Isn't there a fourth?
This is the only one I haven't seen. I'm not sure.
That was probably some shitty one.
Yeah, I thought this one was gonna be shitty because it's 2003.
That was my first thought. Because have you
When
seen
I saw
King of
Brian
the
Usna-
Ants by Stuart Gordon? Same guy who did Reanimator one.
Reanimate. I haven't. No.
It was bad. All of the last 15 minutes turns into a Giallo film and it's awesome. But like everything else sucks.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna hate this one because it started off like, this is like B movie-ish, but man, the ending's so entertaining, man. Once it gets towards that thing, you're like, fuck, man, this is awesome.
Nice. Anything else?
That's all I gotta say. This was my favorite out of the bunch.
So let's re-summarize what our favorites was from worst to best. I'll go first. The worst, although it was still pretty good, was Shinjuku Trial Society by Takashi Miike, if you don't remember. The second best was George Romero's There's Always Vanilla. I loved it because of the behind the scenes, but the movie itself kind of sucks. It's really boring. And then Teruo Ishii's Blind Woman's Curse, starring the wonderful and hot Meiko Kashi. I love her. She's great in everything she's in. Apparently she's in a YouTube channel now where she just answers fan questions and sings. I haven't been able to find it.
Oh, wow.
I've been looking for months now, and I still can't find it. So that's my ranking of my movies.
Nice.
What are yours?
I want to see Blind Woman's Curse. That's on my watch list for sure. Okay, I'll get into mine now. I'm gonna start off with Graveyard of Honor. I mean, it was average to me, but I didn't hate the film. Just like I said, the depressing parts got to me a little bit, but overall, it's still a good film. Next up, I'm gonna go with Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Love that film. Thought it was great. And then my favorite, Beyond Reanimator, because like it just goes with me perfect. Because I'm one of those that loves a B movie that's over the top, still entertaining, and that fits right in with Beyond Animator. So I just enjoyed the hell out of it, from the practical effects, the quirkiness of it.
Yeah, honestly, the first person I've heard even talk about this movie. Usually, I see it in people's like hauls, but I never see anyone talk about it. So I'm happy to know that it's still like just as good as maybe the second one. Because second one I really enjoyed, so it was fun. It was also by News,
Yeah.
I believe. Because Stuart Gordon was kind of
Yeah,
like, I'm
it
done.
was-
I'm gonna go do From Beyond. Another great.
yeah, that movie's From Beyond's one I need in the collection.
What? Dude, it's like $10 on Screen Factory, like everywhere. Like it's really cheap.
Barbara Crampton's eye candy in that one.
She's eye candy everywhere. She still is eye candy.
She still
she's
is.
like in the
Yes.
60s. Like, she's great.
She's a beautiful woman.
But what should
I watched Ride of Oh, okay, go ahead. I said I watched Ride of Reanimated too, and I liked that one a lot.
That's the second one, right?
Yeah, second one.
Okay. I get the 2 and 3 mixed up because it's the same letters, Bride and Beyond. So.
Yeah, you're not gonna top the original, you know, but it's still fun.
Well, what should our next theme be? I guess it's my turn to choose.
And it's your turn. I pick last. Yeah.
I'm leaning towards Giallo.
Yes.
I have a lot of Giallo films in my collection I still gotta go through. I won't say which now that I've proposed it, but
So could this be from any company? Just as long as it's
any
Jello.
company as long as it fits under Giallo. So, Black Gloved Killer, great soundtrack. It depends, but you know, color intensive usually. Rewatches are okay, but yeah, I mean, I have a lot that I haven't
Nice.
seen on my list. One film per box
Oh,
set.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna ask that.
One box set does not equal one because I don't want to end up, you know, if we do 3 box sets, you know, it's like 10 films and we gotta quickly go through it. But like one per.
Yeah. I'm already staring at my Forgotten Jelly Volume 3.
So am I.
That's one film out of there.
I haven't seen Volume
Oh,
2, so.
I saw Volume 2. It's better than Volume 1.
I enjoyed Volume 1 a lot. I really liked 13.
I enjoyed it too.
Killer is one of 13. That's really good.
Yeah, Volume 2's real good too, in my opinion.
Well, I'll choose from there, and then a few others that I don't know if you know I own. One of them I know you own, or I own, but yeah. Thank you everyone for listening. We're gonna do Giallo next. I'm really excited for this one. Thank you, Leon, for joining today. That's always fun.
Thanks for having me. It's been a blast.